Gosh darn it. Okay, if anybody's watching me, I have a freaking hair. Sorry. Oh, heavens. I don't know. Don't know if I uploaded Tuesday's podcast. Let's look on. Okay, podcast. Unfiltered. Unfiltered. There it is. Did I? Oh, wow. What the I did. Good for me. I must be editing and working in my sleep because I don't remember doing it. Hi, Owen. Hi. How are you? So Chris is going to be late, maybe. I don't know, honestly. You don't know either. You were listening to me. I don't know. He's driving. I sent him a link to the show. He's going to try to log in while he's driving. Not the smartest idea in the world. He's going to hear this. He'll hear this. You're doing okay? Good. I don't know how it's going to go. We're just going to have to see how it goes. Oh. I know I would do it live driving, but not driving, like being a passenger in the car. I would do that. My hair is tickling the fuck out of my face. I don't know what you're laughing at. I mean, I'm sure me. Easy bet. So when you listen to Mike and my new podcast. So this is the pre-show. If anybody is out there listening, first thing I want to say, if you're listening to this on audio or video and you don't want to listen to the BS before the show, skip to about 15 minutes in and you'll pass all this stuff. So, but yeah, Owen, you said you listened to the new podcast, to part of it, and you liked it. You really liked it, right? It's been a few weeks since I've gone on alone. Maybe I forgot how to do it. It's like sex. You never forget. I could have said riding a bike, but I'm me. Why would I say that? Right? So, yeah, Mike and I have a podcast. And for anybody that doesn't know, Mike is just some guy that I talk to. Mike is my boyfriend. Okay, I have a freaking hair. It's bugging me. You loved it. Cool. So the podcast is called, this is my podcast, so I can plug it here. It's called Taboo, a couple's journey into the, what was it? Couple's journey. A couple's journey. I can't remember the word that we ended up using. Into the depth. We used depth. It was depth. Taboo, a couple's journey into the depths of sexual depravity. It's brand new, guys. Brand new. We just did an episode. We kind of hurried and just ran headlong into it, and we did an episode last night. Hey, Monty. After 5 years, I should know you pretty well. Huh. True. How are you? Oh no, Chris is here. I'm kidding. So Chris is trying something a little different today. So we're not sure how it's going to work. But he's trying to get here. I actually see him but he's not on the screen for some reason, and I don't know why. Who knows? Hey, Mon, can I call you Mon? Like it's Money, right? Money, or is it Moni? Is it A, money, or B, Moni? A or B, money or Moni? I like Moni. I'm being very silly. I feel like it's Money because it's short for Monica, right? Monica, Monica, Money. That's A. So, oh, Chris. Okay. Apparently, I have to accept him. Yeah, it's Monica. So I'll call you Monica. Because I hate saying it wrong, and I don't know if you want it, if it's Monty or Moni. I'm assuming Monty. I'll call you Monica. How are you, Monica? We'll just get to that. We'll just get right to it. So I was talking about, Chris, it didn't, let's see if I can.
Hey, you got me.
Yeah, oops.
You got me?
Yes.
All right.
You froze, but and he's gone. And he's gone. So good. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm good. I'm having trouble with my arm, my shoulder. So if you guys see me wiggling and moving around a lot, that's why. It goes numb. And I have to move it. But I mean, it doesn't hurt or anything. Yeah, Chris is on the road. There was nothing I did to change it. I didn't do anything except accept you, and you popped up. I didn't touch it after that. So there's nothing. How would I keep you there? I don't know how I would keep him there. Let me do it again.
Okay. All right, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
I didn't touch anything before.
I don't know what happened. All right, I got you. Hi.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Now I don't have all the controls here.
I didn't touch anything. Just want to go on the record to say I did not touch it.
Disturb. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hi.
Where are you off to? But see, I did not touch it. I did not touch it. Just saying.
Hi. All right. Listen, I promise you, all right, the only difficulty is because of my undisclosed location tonight. I know what's going on. I know how to handle all this stuff, but I'm limited.
Where are you playing hooky?
No, clearly, let's jump right into this. Clearly, I am a committed man. I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah, true.
So
That's
I'm going
true.
to tell you the real reason I'm doing all of this, okay?
Yeah.
Because, um, we ran late at work, okay? My day, okay? And
Yeah.
then I had to prepare for an event for tomorrow, a big event, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know my situation yesterday, what happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was getting pleaded to today, not pleaded to, but I was getting, uh, you know, it turned itself around, and she really wanted to see me before, so I said, look, there's only one shot I can do. I can do this thing. I'm running. I had to, get the event set up. I had to get a haircut. As I don't know if you can even tell. I had to do what I had to do. I had to get things going, and now I'm driving out up north again, and it's good because we have an early thing tomorrow at the day job. So it's working out, but I wanted to make sure everything got done. So I committed to everything.
Okay.
There's those eyes.
If you guys want to, if you guys want a little hint of what he's referring to, go to his TikTok channel, and
Yeah.
you
That's
might get a
right.
little hint of some
Yeah.
of the things.
It's under the Beach Buddha,
Yeah.
aka DJ Chris Anthony. But
Yeah. Go to TikTok, look for Beach Buddha.
so anyway, so do you understand? You know what I'm saying to you? Why I'm telling you all this?
I not really.
Okay, I'm driving to Staten Island.
Oh, I see. I
Well, no, no,
see.
no, no. I'm
I
driving.
see
I'm
how it
not.
is.
Not Staten Island, the town, but Staten Island, the person.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I see. So tonight is a great episode. I want to talk about, and
Commitment.
we aren't doing it yet. We're not starting yet, but I just want y'all in the audience to know, those of you who are here right now, we are going to be talking about, unmarried men over 50. And are what are they looking for? Are they actually looking for relationships, or are they just at this point where they just, they're out of committed relationships and they're looking for hookups? But I'm going to throw one little thing in there as well that I want to hit on, and that is first commitments. First commitments. When we have first commitments that we commit to, is it really bad, especially in somebody you're dating? I mean, jobs, even unpaid jobs are important. But um Chris is like,
By the way, you're going to break up on me probably a lot, so if I get quiet, that's why.
okay. But first commitments, is it important? How important is it? How would you feel if you were getting to know somebody in that stage and they canceled at the last minute on you? Would like, I talked to Mike today about this topic, and he said, I probably would have just said adios, and I would have hit the road. I don't know how everybody feels about it. I probably also would just say, yeah, they're not that interested, and I would move on. Um, so kind of got me curious, wondering how people feel about their commitments to people that they're not actually in a relationship with yet. So we're going to talk about both those things, especially if I'm the only one here, because it looks like Chris is going to.
I'm coming back.
Okay.
I'm coming back.
Okay. Chris may be having some trouble though. But those are the things we're going to talk about in about 3 minutes. This is the pre-show. Like I said, guys, if you're listening to this on a rebroadcast, on a recording, just skip to around 15 minutes in, and you'll skip all of this. So Chris is taking care of business. Chris is taking care of business. He's in his car.
I'm here. Can you see me?
There he is. Yeah.
So
He's
it may
driving all
do
over.
that. It may do that. I'm putting all these special things in place. All right. So
that's okay.
The best I can.
No problem. It's okay.
Because I love you and I love our audience. But I want to tell you something, that I'm very impressed the way you pulled together our topic tonight with what you just said.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank
you. We talk about it, we text about it, and then, you throw it together. So that's wonderful.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. This is Chris's topic idea about the 50-year-old unmarried men and their intentions. I have a lot to say about it because I've been dating for the last couple of years and I've had some experiences. Um, yeah, I've actually got some stuff to say. So, good topic. And that the commitment thing is just a little something I want to throw in there because I'm curious how people feel about it. A lot of the people that, especially the people that join our show in the chat room, are single and dating or over it or whatever. So I want to know, if you're just dating somebody, you're not committed yet. How would you feel if they flaked out on you at the last minute? Mike and I, we both agreed that like if it was us and we had done this to each other, like on our first date, when we were getting to know each other, we probably would have just said, yeah, I'm moving on. You must not be that interested. So yeah, so it's a curious question. All right, well,
Yeah.
1 minute and we're going to go live. I mean, we are live, but 1 minute.
Uno minuto. I probably should just do audio for me, but
you could.
You know?
You could.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might be better so you're not coming in and out.
Let's see if that works. I hate to do this, but well, you can do the introduction, then I'll take the camera off so I can say hi to everybody and go from there.
All right. All right. We are live.
And from a legal standpoint also.
True. All right. Welcome back to Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine and Chris Anthony. Mr. Chris Anthony is in the car. He will be going audio with us in just a moment, but he wanted to say hello to everybody. He knows everybody wants to see his pretty face. Yeah,
I just got a new haircut.
Oh, looks great. I didn't. I get one on the 14th.
Nice. Well, you always look fabulous. So, all right, I'm turning the camera off. Let's roll.
All righty. All right, guys. Hi. How's everybody doing? You're dating yourself, Monica? You know what? I bet you're the best date you've ever had. Right? Tell me. So we will be talking about that, about dating, specifically about men over 50. First thing I want to talk about, though, and I'll just get this out of the way. If you want to contact us for any reason, we enjoy hearing from you. I have no idea if any of you did what your homework assignment for Wednesday was, which was to email Chris. Everybody was supposed to bombard him with emails. I don't know if anybody emailed him, but that is still something that you should be doing. He feels lonely. He feels very unloved. He needs emails. His email box has not gotten anything except email from me. He doesn't want email from me. He talks to me all the time. He wants to hear from you guys. So Real Talk with Chris Anthony at gmail.com. That's where you can email him. And I'll put it on the screen in a bit. And Real Talk with Christine at gmail.com. And okay, so hold on a second.
Reaccept me.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so I got to make sure. Okay, so camera off, audio on. Fabulous.
All right. Okay, so I was just telling everybody our email addresses. And I want to mention that we do have a Patreon. And it is up and accepting memberships. It's like $5 a month. And what you're going to get on that channel, now that one, and you need to be warned, it is, I mean, this is an adult show, but it's a little more adult. It's a spicy after dark edition of the show. We're going to be doing, and I don't know how much Chris wants to be involved. We really haven't talked about it, but we're going to be doing a weekly show. So
after midnight. Can we do it after midnight?
After dark.
After dark. Well, dark, Eastern time, Central time, Mountain time?
Eastern time.
Eastern?
After dark. It's called Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine and Chris Anthony. Actually, it's just Christine on Patreon because Chris's name wouldn't fit.
Of course.
Of course. So
Unfiltered excuse.
I know. Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine after dark. is what it's called. And like I said, it's about $5 a month. And you get all my past episodes, which a lot of people have been asking me for them because I have drafted them. I've put them behind a wall so nobody can see them, and people have been asking. So I decided to put it on the Patreon site, safely behind a little paywall. It's not much. And then we'll also add new content, like I said, with us talking about anything. It's a truly unfiltered
Let
episode.
your hair down and let it roll.
Yeah, we will not hold back anything. We will not worry about what we're saying. Okay, so please, I encourage you to go do that. And that's all I want to say. Otherwise, we can just get to it, unless you've got something, Chris.
I don't got much. I got a lot, actually.
Yeah? Do you want to tell us what's going on with you right
now? Well, yeah.
What? Do tell, Chris.
Well, I mean, I've been on some dates with one person, as we know. Fabulous young lady. We had a little bit of a quirk the other night. We were at a date, and she had to bow out last minute. I was really upset. I was annoyed. And
he acted out too.
What's that? He acted out. That's right. I talked it out. But we actually had a good conversation, which was great. Okay, so it all worked out. So key again, communication. But it was. I think that happens a lot with people. Now, if I didn't know who she was or what she was all about, I might have taken a little different direction on that.
Yeah, I think like the question I want to ask people doesn't necessarily really apply to you guys because you've been on a few dates and you had a little bit more history under your belt already. Whereas I'm curious if it was your first date, and you really didn't know each other. I'm curious if people, because of the way the dating world is today, and there are so many options, if somebody's gonna bow out at the last minute like that, I mean, I just feel like I would probably say, yeah, they're not that interested, and I'd move on. Unless it was, something like serious happened or they, broke down on the way or, I mean, there are reasons, obviously. But if they, I don't know, tell you something that sounds really like just an excuse, would you be okay with that, or would you just move on and maybe make them have to really work at it?
It depends on the circumstances. I mean, I was upset. I was mad last night. Well, and I figured out too that there's those eyes and that smile again. But I figured out that a lot of things, a lot of things that happen in your life throughout your life, relationships, affect you, and so how do I put it? You gotta decipher what's what. In other words, I'm talking in circles. I know that.
So they affect the way that you
can't let your past dictate.
Right.
What's that?
I was saying, so your past relationships, especially if you have some baggage that you haven't dealt with, they can definitely affect the way you respond or react to a person when they do things, especially when you're getting to know them.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that there has to be a mutual respect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
With that.
I think that's what I was getting at. I think that I would probably feel disrespected if somebody like flaked on me, especially if I felt it was flaky, and I would just, not.
I did. I did at first. I almost felt like it was a subtlety. Yeah. All right. And I'm like, you know what, homie, don't play that.
Right.
I'm not saying anything. So then it was discussed, and it was the furthest thing from that. Then it was redeemed, and everything is fine. Right. But I think that a lot of us take things from the past that have happened to us or have occurred, whatever, and make us jump the gun on other things that happen in our life for the wrong reasons.
Well, yeah, you assume things because of previous baggage.
Right.
Right.
Right. And that's it all.
No, that's
So,
no good. But it's nice that you. It's nice that you were self-aware as you got angry, and you were able to, to think about it and be like, am I putting my crap on her? Maybe a little unjustly. That's good. It doesn't mean you were, but it left you open to talk to her.
So, I caught myself, like you said.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let me not do this. All right.
Kathy.
So let me not do this.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah,
me.
no,
Let me.
that's what I mean. It was good because it allowed you to kind of keep yourself open to hear what she had to say when she realized that you were affected by her decision.
Now the other thing is, by the way, is that Monica Money from Tom's River?
That's Monica. Yes.
But is it is she from Tom's River? Is that Monica watching from the Tom's River area?
I don't know. Monica, is that you?
I can't. I mean, obviously, I can't see anything, so just curious.
It just says Monica, so it just says Monty, so I don't know.
All right.
I'm sure she'll answer us.
Well, if it's Monica from Tom's River, hi, Mon. If not, but anyway.
If not, still hello.
What's that?
I said, if it's not, still hello.
Still hello, regardless. So, and everybody else out there, because I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So, you've got to really put in perspective what you want, how you're going to communicate, and be respectful, and really think about the other person's needs, and the other person in general,
Yeah.
They've got a past too, so maybe they're doing things based on, that's that whole learning process. It's a whole,
Yep. Yep, that's right. It's tough, and I think it's harder when you're older because you've got so much more baggage and history, just in life.
I hate that word.
Baggage.
Baggage. I hate it.
Yeah, I know. I do too. But yeah, it's descriptive. People know what you're talking about, when you use it. So I get it, but yeah, I hate the word too.
Leave your baggage at the turnstile and let pretend you never had it. Really.
I like to say that I know I've had a lot of baggage over the years. I like to think that the last year, my introspective journey, I have put my baggage away, and I try not to let it affect me. But the thing is, like with and I'll refer back to Mike and I because we're still in that learning process, and I am a very questioning person, and I like everybody to be happy and getting what they need out of a relationship. So if I pick up on vibes that aren't necessarily 100% positive, I'm going to ask. I have no problem. Are you okay? Is there anything going on that I can help with?
Do we ever really learn? My mother says you never really know a person. 50 years later, you're still getting to know them. People change. They change every few years. Your body changes. Your mind changes. Your life taints you. Things happen. So you've got to always re-up yourself, relearn, reset the button.
Yeah. Yeah, agree. You have to stay very flexible in life because and it is a risk. I agree, Chrissy. It's really important that your words and actions match. Words are cheap when there's no actions to back it up, or they don't match. I got a message from a old friend, and because I posted on Facebook about if you're going to fall and this is paraphrasing, I don't remember what I wrote, but if you're going to fall head over heels or fast and hard, make sure the person you're falling with feels the same. And she's like, yeah, but how? And I said, so we talked about it. I said something back to her about, my feelings on that. And she said, but I did that. I was with somebody for a few years, and he's basically snowed her the whole time. And then his true color showed at some point. Anyway, and I just told it's an inherent risk. We will never not have a risk in life. Life is a risk, period. And you can be married to somebody for 50 years. You can be married to somebody for a year, and you're still at risk of finding out they aren't what you thought they were. They aren't who they thought that you thought they were, Or maybe they are. And it could go either way. That doesn't mean that there's some crazy psycho, or drama king or queen. It could also be like in my case, what happened in my long-term marriage. It could be that he is so emotionally detached and unavailable and stunted.
Okay, but now let's
You know,
ask this question:
huh?
What makes what makes us become emotionally detached?
Well, I mean, it depends. Some people, like with this person, it had to do with his family dynamics and a very, very low self-esteem, which he hid. Uh, but when we got down to the nitty gritty of it and living together and seeing each other 24/7, he couldn't hide it after a while. Because the relationship, of course, as it develops, demands, and we got married, and it demanded more of his emotions, and he couldn't fake it anymore. He couldn't. Yeah, it just didn't work, and it became obvious and apparent who he truly was. And I still stuck it out because I learned who he was by about year two. Definitely year three, I was like 100% on to who he was, and we talked about it a lot. And I still was with him for another 20 years. Uh,
Why?
I know,
Why?
I know, and it is a way, especially the way, and that's one of the reasons I say what I say now, never settle, because I did settle, and I would have stayed, and I would have stayed. That would have been my last relationship, and I would have died a very unsatisfied woman. Never in my life having had a satisfying relationship, not one. That's how I would have died, and
What would?
I would have done it
Uh,
because I have this insane sense of loyalty. And when I love deep. Even if I'm not in love with you, if I love you and I care about you, which of course, living with somebody for all those years, of course I cared about him as a person. Um, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, if it's in love, if I care, I have a hard time walking away from somebody if they're in it. And he was in it. He was in it as best as he could be. And he made that clear. It's like, you're it. You're it. I don't want anybody else. But see, here's what happened. In year 13, he cheated on me. You can't do you can't do that in the best of circumstances.
okay, so why in God's name would you go for another 7 years and stay with
Right.
this person? I mean, listen, I'm all about loyalty, but you do me
Right.
wrong,
No, you're right.
I'm done.
Chris,
I will. I might be
100%.
able to
And
forgive you.
yeah, but not be with you.
Children, children or no children. You
Right.
know,
I understand.
then you become a financial book. That's it.
See, I tell people, I advocate that you do what you can live with. And if you decide to stay, you cannot complain about the life you choose, unless they continue to cheat. And then you'd better damn well get up off your butt and get the hell out of that relationship. And again, if you choose, if it's your choice to stay in a relationship that is not what you want it to be, I honestly feel like you don't have the right to complain. You have
I,
accepted the relationship.
I'm not pointing the finger at you necessarily here, but I'm saying this: for someone that goes through a circumstance like that, okay,
Yeah.
unless you're going to marriage counseling and this and that, and even that I don't agree with. However, okay, all of a sudden, if you really are trying to make this work, the love is so deep, and you want to get to the rudimentary of it. The other person that was the victim, so to speak, why are they staying in it? Are they that insecure that they need to hang around? We've all been in some
No.
form of that circumstance.
Right. And there are different reasons. Some people fiercely stay because they can't stand the thought of their kids, coming from a divorced family. So they swear that they're going to work it out. Whatever the case is, yes, some people absolutely 100% stay in very bad situations because they don't have the wherewithal to get out of the situation, whether it's domestic violence or it's uh, infidelity. um, People do get stuck in it, and sometimes it's they're very weak-minded and they can't help themselves. Sometimes it's that they have low self-esteem and they're financially dependent and they don't think that they could find anybody else that they could partner with. There's so many reasons, mostly having to do with your psyche. For me personally, my bottom line was among those type of things, and it was wrong, and I shouldn't have done it, but the choice I made And this is why I advocate the way I do, because of my own experience, which is what I tell everybody. I'm not a licensed psychologist. I'm not a counselor. I just talk from experience, and my experience was that I did not want the kids and the grandkids and my parents to know what he had done. They all put him on a pedestal. They loved this guy. They thought he was, like freaking could walk on water. And I couldn't stomach the thought of going to them. Not because, honestly, it wasn't because I didn't want to. It wasn't that I didn't want to see the hurt in his eyes. I couldn't take the hurt in their eyes, so I didn't. That was my choice, and I told him too.
I'll be honest with you. Unfortunately, I respect you for that, but unfortunately, in a circumstance like that, you have to believe in yourself and your own strength and your own family, and say, you know what, they put him on a pedestal. Well, you know what? I'm sure many serial killers were put on a pedestal by people who never knew they were serial killers. The jails are filled with people that were put on pedestals till their crimes came out.
Well, I like to think that if he did anything, criminal to other people, I would have.
He did something criminal to you. It's like anything else.
Made a different decision. But yes, no, you're right. Which is why I have spoke a lot about if anybody listens to my podcast, the one thing they know that I talk about all the time is self-worth. So, Chris, you're dead on. Self-worth, self-love. You can't have
the one day you can't see me, you compliment me, and I can't see you.
I think I complimented you last time too.
No,
but anyway,
you always do. I'm just kidding. But
yeah. But yeah, self-worth. I don't think that you should even pursue a relationship until you love yourself, have self-worth, know what you're worth, and aren't willing to settle. Something that breaks my heart now. See, now I'm a different person. I still have my heart the way that I am, but I look at people out there that are dating or in relationships, and when I see somebody settling for less than what they deserve because it's what they want, it breaks my heart. I can't stand that they don't love themselves enough.
This whole thing, I also think that this word narcissist is so over. We're going off topic. I'm going to hone it back in.
I know,
overused. Believe in yourself. No, don't let somebody be able to manipulate you. Now, going back to that, what do people over 50, so to speak, want? Do they want to manipulate a relationship for their own benefit? Do they want something real? What do they want? How do you know?
So specifically what we're talking about are men tonight. I mean, it applies to men and women, but really men, that's what we're talking about tonight. Unmarried men over 50 and over. What are you looking for? Are you looking for relationships? Are you looking for casual, just someone to hang out with, a companion? Excuse me. So my experience, having been dating for a couple of years, my experience is that men that are 50 and over, actually as they get close to 55, are very set in their ways. And this is people in general, but I'm talking about men right now. Yeah. Very set in their ways, very determined to make anybody that considers dating them understand, I'm not budging. I am who I am. You don't like it, hit the road. And some of them will actually say that. It's like, oh, sure, let me get in line to date you. But that's just how they are. And they also have very low energy. And I ran into this over and over and over again. So much so that, and these guys would sell themselves to me like they were looking for things similar to what I was looking for. But when we would get to know each other a little bit, and usually it was mostly text, because that's how I do things, thankfully. Otherwise I'd freaking be dating these guys all the time. But through just a couple of days of back and forth text, I would find out, okay, they're really not looking for what I'm looking for, or they're very, very low energy and I can't. It's okay, but it's not for me. Or they are very set in their ways and they're not pliable at all. I just can't imagine even having fun. So what I started doing was I started looking from 45 to 50. That was my sweet spot, 45 to 50.
Why? Why? They're less set in their ways?
I found, well, that's what I was saying. My experience was that once they got closer to 55 is when that sort of happened. And Chrissy says, what do you mean by low energy? I mean, okay, I'm a high energy person. And when I say low energy, I don't mean there was anything wrong with the way they are. It's just low energy for me. So they were on a different level. They could just literally chill on Netflix. And I don't mean the way the kids mean it today. I mean, they literally could get home from work and just kick back on the couch, have a few beers, watch some TV, and then snooze all night on the couch, and they are perfectly happy. That's just not
Good
what
Lord.
I want.
Good Lord. I wish I could do that one night. Just one.
Yeah. Everybody should do it occasionally. But in general, I like to have conversations. I don't need to get up and move all the time. I'm not going to be taken and the man walks in from a full day of work and I'm like, let's go, get back in the car. Let's go. No, but I want to cook dinner for him and I want him to be available for me to enjoy the meal and interact with me and actually be there, be present. And I don't want him faking it. I don't want, because if he is a lower energy than me, if the day wears him out so bad that he just wants to lay on the couch, which tends to start happening around 55 in my experience.
I know a lot of people that are in that exact circumstance, and it's not, to me, listen, I'm 53. I don't stop. And it's not that I would like to stop sometimes, but I love to go. I love to keep going. I'm full of life. I'm full of energy. I'm embracing every moment that I physically have the energy to embrace. And that's where I think it should be. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but everything from my...
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying everything from my dating life to my work life to my fun life to whatever. I try to, like today, made it all happen, you know?
Right. And that's who you are. And this is who I am. And, to Chrissy's point, or her question, I don't want people to think that I'm dogging somebody because their energy is lower. Because I'm not. To each his own. If they are happy...
And you're just not compatible. You're just not compatible. That's it.
Right. And that's why I started looking at a lower age. Now, guys that were under 45 were definitely compatible with me in the energy level, not necessarily in the mental level. So I wouldn't, I talked to a few, because I have, men from, and they're not even men, come on, 18 to 70, all the ages, and a lot of men, young men, under 30. And I wouldn't date them. Now, I talked to two, everybody knows, if you listen to my podcast, everybody knows I stuck my feet in the pond of friend with benefits for a moment. I always said that wasn't for me, but I did. And it was with a younger guy, and it was a great 4 days. It was wonderful, but there's no relationship there.
Great 4 days.
It was amazing. And we stayed a FWB, but we never met again. But the reason I say we stayed that way is because we remained...
How does that work?
What?
You stayed in FWB, but you never met again.
Well, I'll explain. So the reason why it was that way is we were of the intent when he lives in North Carolina. I went to see him. So when I left and went back home, it was, one of these things, well, this won't work. This is not a relationship that's viable. We both knew that. But we were great friends. Loved spending time together, loved the whole thing. So our intent was, if neither one of us find a boyfriend or a girlfriend, then and we want to meet again and go hiking or whatever, that we were totally...
that's what they call it these days?
No, really, hiking. There'd be other stuff in between too. But we never met again. And he ended up in a relationship about a month ago, and he'd come, and I talked about that on here because I think he kind of, I have sympathy for him, but he kind of did me a little dirty because he just got rid of me and he didn't say goodbye, which I think sucks. I would never have done that to him because he's my friend. I thought,
well, that's ridiculous. And you know what the worst part about that is? Somebody like that, and I think many people, whether they believe it or not, are either a victim or part of doing it, he will think nothing of, I don't know, 6 months from now, a year from now, 6 weeks from now, picking up the phone like, hey, how you doing? If something
Right.
doesn't work out. And
That's right.
thinks it's perfectly okay
Right.
and disrespected you by not even giving a formal, hey, listen, you were great, but, blah, blah, whatever.
You're right. And I told him that. I told him I thought we were friends. I thought you would at least say goodbye. I would have. He knew I understood.
It is called friends with benefits.
Right. He 100% knew I would understand. I wanted him to find somebody. I was happy for him. So why not say goodbye? He did it because she was a jealous person.
I do believe that can be the case. There are situations where you're just attracted to somebody in so many ways, but mentally or emotionally or whatever, you can't connect, but you're mature enough to say, listen, we like each other, we're going to hang out and be friends, and life and humanity gives us some other things to enjoy, and we're going to enjoy it.
Right.
So that, again, reeling us back into our topic, what do men, and I'll say people too, but over 50 want? You have to really disclose this, and
that's been my problem, though. They don't disclose it, and that has been the issue that I have had with dating, is the men that they don't tell me honestly that they don't want a relationship. They're playing with words. They know darn good and well I want a relationship, and they know that they're willing to only sleep with one person. But that is not a commitment. That is just saying, if I decide I want to go with this person, I'm going to tell you.
But that doesn't make any sense. They're going to
sleep
with one person, but yet if someone else comes along, they're going to stop sleeping with you and go sleep with them.
Correct. And they didn't want to say that because they knew that was something I wouldn't want to be involved with. So they played with words and they said, yes, I want an exclusive relationship. I would only be with one person at a time. So they play with words.
I guess this is where I struggle with this too, because it's women do the same thing.
Sure.
I think women are very coy with the way they'll approach a guy if they're attracted to him. I don't understand why people just aren't straight.
I don't.
And it's like, hey, the first thing, what are you looking for? The dating apps. Hey, what are you looking for? It's a horrible question to ask, but it's like, listen, what are you looking for?
I don't think it's a horrible question to ask. It makes perfect sense. It's one of the first things you'd ask. We're on dating apps. Our intent is either that we are looking to hook up, or looking for a companion, or looking for just a friend, or we're looking for a relationship. It's that simple. That's why we're there. If we don't ask, what are we doing?
Right. I agree.
And my experience with these men are that they would lie to me. Well, and they were lying, but they were playing semantics. They were leaving out certain parts of the words, certain words, so that it would.
Of course, that's manipulation. Yeah. That brings me back to what I said before. Total manipulation.
Yeah.
And I've learned as I'm getting older to put it out there. That's why, like, my circumstance yesterday. What? What?
You said you've learned to put it out there. That's so rude.
Well, no.
Nobody wants to see that. Wait till she asks. Go ahead.
What do you mean? I'm not even going there. Listen, silence cannot be misquoted right now, okay? So, no, what I mean is put it out there. Like, if I'm thinking something or if I feel something, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to figure out the best way to communicate it, and I'm going to say it. Whether it's, hey, I don't like the way you behave in this circumstance, or what are you looking for? Hey, I just want to hook up. How about you?
Yes. I just, you know me, I'm a huge advocate for communication, open communication, honest communication, right from the start. I don't, especially for people that are over 50, we are not, for the most part, those of us out there looking for a relationship, we aren't looking to mess around. So when people say to me, well, I don't want to have that, they don't want me to have that kind of a conversation the first time we meet. I'm like, too bad. Do you want to screw around with this for a month or something, tiptoeing around these questions that you really want to know? And then
huh? No, I'm sorry. I'm not cutting you. I don't know what you can hear or not. I was worried it's going to cut off. But that brings me to my next question, which is, at what point do you decide, dating is dating. So while we are dating, okay, neither person really has the right to ask the other person, and I'm on the fence about that because, when you're even as much as kissing somebody, you don't want this person out kissing 30 people, but, um, dating is dating. Nobody has the right to ask, so you can date as many people as you want, go out to dinner, whatever you do, without recourse. But at what point do you decide, regardless of intimacy, what point do you decide,
exclusivity?
Got to hone into
right. one. See, for me, that's easy. For me, that's easy. And this is the thing that you and some of the ladies on that are usually in the chat room disagree with me on, but I stick to my guns. I'm a huge advocate for it. I believe in it, and listening to you is one reason why I'll never back down on it. I tell people we're on dating apps, right? We're out there. We know how confusing this is because there's so many people on you. It's very overwhelming because there's so many options. So when you do start dating somebody, one date, the first date, before you even meet them, you should have asked, you should know what this person's looking for. Why are you going out with them if they just are looking for a drinking buddy? No. So that should be an easy, no-brainer question. Nobody should feel bad about saying in the dating app when you're texting, hey, what are you looking for? This is what I'm looking for. And that's how you should say it too. You don't just ask them. That's putting them on the spot. You ask them and you follow it up with what you're looking for so they feel comfortable. Okay, she told me what she's looking for. Now I can say it. You may not like that because they can manipulate you, but you just got to keep asking questions.
So do women.
I know.
Don't think that women don't do it because it's been done to me.
And I'm not talking gender specific. Everybody, absolutely 100%. But when it comes to at what point does exclusivity, when does that happen? This is what I do. When I get to the second date, if I determine that I personally am interested in another date, then I flesh that out with the guy. Is that something which, I'll be honest, it's only happened to me once, and that was with Mike, and this is exactly what happened. I told him, when I get to this point where we're talking about we're going to meet again, we are obviously interested, I stop talking to other people. I just want you to know, I want my intention on you. I'm not going to talk to other people. I'm definitely not going out on any more dates. Now, if I had a commitment already, then we would talk about it, and I would probably keep that commitment, or I would, at the very least, I would have a conversation with that person and tell them what happened and see how they felt about it. I would be honorable about it. I wouldn't just ghost them.
But now, you also got to decide at what point. Like, okay, if that's how you're feeling and that's what you're thinking, okay, that's great. But at what point does it become pressure for the other person? Every other person's still going slow on dating, and they should tell you that. But if you personally choose at that point to say, I really want to spend my time with this person and figure it out. You personally, in your own head, have to roll the dice and gamble it, and then. Hopefully they come around the mountain when they come.
I handle it differently. With Mike and I, and that's the only thing I can use as an example right now. If he had told me, okay, yeah, sure, I get it. You're not going to talk to any more people. Do you expect that of me? Because I don't want to do that. I want to keep talking to people and, and figuring things out. I would have said, that's okay. I totally respect that. I really would rather not exclusively date you if you're going to be, doing that. I would rather not stop talking to other men myself, and I don't want to be distracted. So just so you know, you're no longer up here You're no longer the standout. Now you're back down in the pool with all the other guys and you don't have a lead. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I would just be honest with them. I would just say that's how it is. And I'm not, and I make it really clear, I am not telling you what to do because honestly, as a matter of fact, Mike took it that way and he deleted a woman off of his dating app right in front of me. And I was like, stop, don't do it. I mean, I was practically begging him, please.
Well, the option should have been if he was that strongly about it. And Mike, I'm an advocate of you, but the option should have been at that point to leave the
Sure,
dating
sure,
app.
sure. And we can get into the reasons why that particular dating app won't go away for either one of us. All the others will. Well, he doesn't have any others. I do, but they'll all go away. But there's a reason that we will keep that one, but the profile will change. But anyway, moving on with the whole, exclusivity thing. I made it really clear to him. I don't expect you to follow suit with me. That's not even what this is about. I want you to know where I am at this point in our dating process. When I'm ready to go to number 3 date, because I've never 2 years and I've never met anybody that I actually wanted to do this. So I definitely don't want to continue dating other people. That's where I am. I want your honest opinion. If you want to continue, sure, it's not going to go your way when it comes to me, but that's okay. I want to know that. I'm totally okay with that. Just tell me the truth. And I support that 100%. But they could lie.
I guess my
Yeah.
my thought, they can. But my thought process is on that too. Pressure. I said it before. You don't want to push the other person to a direction that they feel backed against the wall either. They may like you, they may take things slower, they may want to, as long as it moves in a forward direction. Sometimes you question. So the only time I feel you question it is if things are not adding up or making sense to you or feeling right in your gut.
Okay, well, I'm kind of lost on that, what just happened with that the way that went, because I don't know what you were saying. I don't. Okay, so what you said, 100%. If something's off in my gut when I'm dating somebody, I pay attention to it. I always pay attention to my gut, and that is the reason that I don't go on very many second dates. And that's the reason why Mike was a complete anomaly where I wanted a third date, because I do listen to my gut. As far as the pressuring,
but I guess I'm saying,
as far as the pressuring goes, I feel like it's too new in the relationship and in the acquaintance of knowing each other to take that as it's not an ultimatum. So there is no pressure with that. I am being the same person I've been since the moment we started talking. I'm being very transparent with you and very honest. I don't want to date somebody at this point. If I'm looking at date number 3, I'm interested in, are we together going to pursue this and give each other our full attention, or do you want to keep dating other people? And that is okay. I'm totally down with that.
All right, so let's ask our audience.
Well,
I can't see anything, but you can.
I want to address Chrissy's question because she mentions you, and I'm not quite sure what she's talking about or what it means. She says, but sometimes when you're straightforward, the other person isn't necessarily Chris Anthony. But sometimes when you are straightforward, so you're straightforward with somebody about what you're looking for, right? The other person isn't necessarily Chris Anthony. It could be for various reasons, though. I don't understand that.
I don't understand what that means.
But Chrissy, if you want to take a second and explain what you're talking about, because she could have been making a joke, and I'm not kidding it. I don't know though.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, Chrissy's pretty sincere person.
So I'd like her to explain it because I would love to. I love to hear all the stuff, and so I would love to address whatever it is that she's intending there, what she means.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, it's.
I just feel like there should be no pressure. Like, sometimes people go slow. You want to go on a date, and they go on a date 6 months later, or they go, that's extreme. They want a date, and they'll go about it, and then they'll say they'll call that person back, in a week or two. Say, hey, would you like to go out to dinner again? And it's called dating. And then maybe they'll become more fond of one
But
particular
Chris,
person.
we're saying the same
Find
thing.
themselves
We're saying
thinking
the same
about.
thing. I'm telling somebody me personally am interested in just dating you right now because I feel like we may be headed somewhere and the other dating is distracting to me. But if he
Okay.
still wants to date other people, then I will feel a certain way about that, and that's only because I don't know what he's actually doing. I don't know what his intentions are. And probably what I'm going to say is, well, I mean, if I hear from him in a few weeks and he wants to go out again, I will entertain the thought. I mean, I'm not going to be all butthurt that he wasn't ready to, stop talking to other people and figure out if he liked me. He didn't, he wasn't that certain that anything was developing. He's a person with his own feelings. That's okay. I just don't want him to think that I'm not going to find somebody else. And then when he comes back and I'm not available, he's going to be like, well, why didn't you tell me? It's like, well, no, we sort of said we're going to do our own thing. If you call, you call. If you don't, you don't. And
Yeah, it's a touchy situation.
well,
It
it
really
is.
is. You know.
It is. Look, you know what it comes down to? It's if you are somebody out there dating and you really feel you don't have any gut feelings, no red flags, you really feel like, wow, this person, I've gone on 2 dates with them. I want to go on a third date. I want to go on a fourth date. I'm feeling like I want to go on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 date. I mean, if you're feeling like that, I say you're transparent. You don't need to bombard them with those feelings. You shouldn't. But you need to make it clear that you don't want to be distracted by other people because you feel very strongly, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. If they don't want it, and you make it very clear to them that you want them to do what they want, and if they still want to go date people, that's cool, that's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. But you cannot make that decision when somebody says that they are interested in you for more dating, and as long as I'm going to be dating you more, I'm not going to date other people. You can't ask them or be okay with that and expect that they're going to say, yeah, you go ahead and I don't know what you're doing, sleep with the women, just talking to the women, still looking for women.
Well, I I think that's where the gray area comes in.
Yeah, it's all about
Um,
transparency. It's all about communication.
well,
They have
it is
no
about that.
they have no reason not, but they won't, but they have no reason not to respond back this answer. Yeah, I'm not really there. I'm not there, and I am going to keep I'm definitely going to keep talking to people. That's the honest answer if it is. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing. You're not in the same
Right.
place.
I think I think dating the gray area is it's not. I'm going to make a word up. It's not intimacy, intimacy, dating intimacy. In other words, you really shouldn't be sleeping around. I mean, listen, we're all human beings. Nobody's a virgin. We've all done our thing. I'm sure many people, from divorcees to the most virgin of people, have had more than one partner in life. But I guess that's what raises the red flag the most is, hey, are you dating? Are you sleeping with other people? Are you not?
It
It's
is
hard
hard
to
to ask
ask
that.
that.
It is, and
There,
I wouldn't ask that.
and there, but there comes a point at a certain point in the dating scheme, okay, that you have to, like you say, 3, 4 days, 5. If you're spending more and more time with this person, even if you're not totally intimate, but you're hot and heavy, maybe you're fooling around, your kids, whatever, you got to say, all right, listen,
Exactly. What are we doing?
what are we doing here?
And you should get there sooner than later. If your intentions from the start, Kathy says she had 3 dates with a man, never had that conversation. She believes that kind of conversation could scare people off, and that's fine. You do you. You are not comfortable with that conversation. You are worried you're going to scare somebody off. Then you do you, and that's the point. But for me, and what I advocate to people is that what you just said, Chris. What are we doing here? We are over 50 years old, and we are particular people looking for a life partner, and we don't have 50 years left. at least not good ones. And we are not playing. I am not, and I will never back down from this. I am not looking to spend months on somebody that if I had just had an honest conversation with them, I would have found out we don't want the same thing. I'm not willing to do it. Not willing. But I don't think you should say to somebody, you shouldn't, do you sleep around? Are you sleeping with other people? I do think that there are subtle ways to figure that out. And then you kind of go back to that, like what we talked about, the icebreaker games with questions. You can ask very, very.
Right.
Those are great. And they're non-threatening. They don't feel like you're accusing or asking the question directly because you contrived it. It's a game. You're playing a game. Everybody knows what you're doing. You're getting to know each other. But they are great games to play. And because I don't think you should just sit across the table and say, okay, so how many women are you dating? Now you can be kind of coy with that, and men and women do it all the time. Kind of play and be like, so, like with you, Chris, it's like, so are you a player? I mean, how many women are in your inbox? I could say that to a man, and then I could say, because there's I know how it is. The way that most people find out about that, the subtle, acceptable way is to say, how are the apps treating you? Because I'm not having any great luck, or, I keep getting fakes, having that conversation. And then that kind of gets you into a conversation with, well, I actually am talking to X, Y, and Z. They seem to be real. We're having nice conversation. Now you got to feel for the fact that, okay, he's talking to people. She's talking to people. Okay, that's okay. And nothing wrong with that. And then when you play your game or you get to a certain point, there is nothing wrong with asking the person that you are interested in if they, now again, you're not just having a date that you're just out dating. I date with intention. And my intention is a relationship. And yes, there are people out there. There are people who aren't looking for relationships that lie to you. And if I said that to them, they'd still try to get in my pants by lying to me. But after the third date, after the second date, after communicating, they know I'm not backing down, and they hit the road. Like Kathy said, they take off because they don't want to hear all that shit. They don't want to hear all that personal conversation. But if the man and the woman are looking for a relationship with a person that has character and a person who matches them, nobody in that room is going to be upset by questions. They're just not. They're not.
If they have the right intentions.
If they have the wrong intentions or they're uncertain on what they want, they will be offended by the questions. They won't want those deep dive questions. I'm not ready to answer those questions.
I think it's so hard to get a bond and trust and care and be comfortable,
especially for older people.
And it's like, it's like you just don't know because everybody's been through so much. It's like, when do you pull it together?
Aren't you just making more of a case why conversation needs to happen? That we shouldn't shy away from it?
I've said that. The whole entire time. We might get cut off. If we do, I want to just say I love everybody there.
We love you too.
And
I said we love you too.
What's that? I love her. But it's this was a good conversation, and it's important stuff. It's important. It's important stuff. You got to be honest. You got to be honest, and you got to be forthright with your.
You do.
With your
and I am going to forever continue to advocate to people to not be afraid of asking questions, to not be afraid to get to know people. If you're not sure of what you're looking for in life, I would never tell you to go do this. Because the first thing I tell people is be introspective, learn to love yourself, learn what you're looking for, and don't settle. If you go into a date with that intention, you're not going to get scared off by questions. You're going to want the questions. You're going to welcome the questions. And you're going to hope that they welcome questions because you're not messing around.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
But if it scares you, maybe you're not 100% certain what you want, and that's okay too. That is okay. You go on your dates with less intention. You're not really certain. So you want to kind of play it cool, and really, you're not looking for any deep questions. That probably would scare you off. And I get that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
So,
I agree.
but I'm 63
I agree
and
100%.
I don't want to just date around. I've been doing that for 2 years. And I mean,
I'm 55, 50, I'm 53, and I want to be a big horn master. I want to date. I want to screw. I want to have a great time. I want to tear it up. And you know what?
Really,
that's
Chris?
What I want to do.
That's what you want to do?
How's that? No. I know what I want to do. The question
He's
is,
like, I want to be a big man whore.
So, yeah. So, no. Be forthright. Be communicative. Do what you got to do. Make sure you know what you want. Don't lead people on. Don't hurt people. You know, everybody wants something. You know, everybody has a need. Just be straight. Because if the person you're talking to isn't going to meet your needs, someone else will.
Exactly.
You know, there'll be someone
that
don't want to play.
How it breaks my heart when I see people settling. You know, they shouldn't be settling. They should love themselves enough, know their worth, know what they bring to the situation, and not be willing to take less than they want. Could it mean that you're going to be alone for a while? It could. It could. But you're going to be happy.
Right. Well, you know what? You got to be comfortable in your own skin. That's also it.
Chrissy, she cleared this up. So she missed a comma. So but sometimes when you are straightforward, the other person isn't necessarily. And she directed it at you. That's why it says Chris Anthony.
Right. Sometimes when
you are straightforward, the other person isn't necessarily straightforward. Yeah.
Right. Well, sometimes people also, I think that people get confused and they don't know how to say things, but they should
try.
Figure it out.
And that goes, and we need to do an episode on effort. I haven't done one on effort in a while, but that's where the effort comes in. And effort is a big deal. And it kind of goes back to I don't know who was said, your words need to match your actions, and you need to have actions. You can't just have words, and it's effort. So if you're on a date with somebody, on the third date with somebody, and you're feeling like this could be something, but you just don't have it in you. You are a shy person. You don't know how to ask the questions. You don't even know how to answer them. Maybe you do want to get scared off by it, but you're really interested in that person. Then the effort on your part is going to be get over it. How important is it to explore this?
Right.
Face your fear, ask the question. And if that person walks away from you,
you have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Yeah. Only way to get over it is to go through it. Face it. So again, I will always advocate for thorough, honest, transparent communication early on. If your intent is for a relationship.
I agree. Without pressure. Without pressure, honesty,
there should be
integrity,
no
without pressure.
All you're doing is telling somebody who you are and what you're looking for.
So if your date stands you up, make a decision if you're going to give them another chance or not.
Exactly.
And they go.
That's right.
And they go from there.
Right.
Like the song says, where do we go from here?
By the way, he did give me another chance. I'm right in the car with him right now.
Was that Rose?
Yeah.
Me.
So.
He gave me a second chance.
Yay.
So anyway, yeah. So that's the story, and
I just have to say to her, you are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are right on point with everything you were saying. I enjoyed your conversation.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can get kind of passionate about the topic.
That's good. No,
I think that's what makes you great.
And that's the key. That's a perfect word. Be passionate. If you're with somebody and you like them, you're into them, be passionate about it. Let that passion let you ask the right questions, do the right things, give the right vibe. And if somebody doesn't like it, too bad. Move on. You got to be who you are.
Let's face it. If they don't like what's coming out of your mouth and what you're talking about, that's not the person for you. That's not your person. It's okay. Next on the list. Moving on.
That's right. Because your kiss is on my list.
All right, guys. Well, we have done an hour and 16 minutes. And Chris, you
Yes,
managed
we
to stay
have.
on the phone.
So,
Really great.
and I committed. See, I'm committed.
You followed through. I'm proud of you.
So the communication, follow
I'm
through,
proud of
and
you.
commitment. Proper planning prevents piss poor
there you
performance.
Go. To clarify, some people can be straightforward, but the other person may not be for various reasons. I was addressing Chris's comment. Yes, we did finally figure that out. And you are absolutely right.
Right.
Christy. Absolutely right. Sorry for the confusion.
So, all right, everybody. Listen, tune in next time on this portion of
When Chris gets stood up.
When Chris gets stood up.
Chris gets stood up.
Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine and Chris Anthony. And this portion of the show was sponsored by Beach Buddha Coffee, and that's why I was wide awake for the show, because I was drinking that Rising Tide espresso. So, and email us at Real Talk with Christine at gmail.com, and please email me. I would love to hear from you. Real Talk with Chris Anthony at gmail.com.
Love you guys.
We love you.
See you Tuesday.
Peace out.
Bye.
See you next Tuesday.
Drive
See you in your
careful,
streams.
Chris.
All right.